Rob Grimes for the IFBTA, and I'm here with Vas Diachenko, the CEO, founder of LoyaltyPlant. So welcome.
Hi.
Now this is not your first NRA.
Yeah.
Second NRA.
Yeah, second NRA
But
for us.
But you came out here in the U.S. A year ago.
Yeah, basically.
Actually, not even a full year, right? In the fall.
Yeah, we kind of started to test grounds like a year ago, and decided to go full house.
Okay. So before we discuss what exactly full house means here, here's what you need to know. So what you need to know is they've come from Russia. They do a lot of business in Russia and the Ukraine, but they do other countries, across Europe as well. They have about 600 600 customers, not locations, but 600 customers, and focused on the restaurant market. And they came here last year. They tested things out here at the NRA show, and FS Tech they launched. And then they today have about 6 customers here in the US, but they're some pretty big ones here. So now why don't you tell us what exactly LoyaltyPlant is?
Yeah, so LoyaltyPlant basically it's a mobile engagement platform, which includes white label mobile app, CRM system to control communication with customers, and basically all of our support and expertise in mobile engagement space. But basically, in few words, it's mobile apps that mean business.
Right.
And today, the mean business part is like the most important, because lots of brands actually trying to launch something with mobile apps, but most of them not succeeding at all to have this increased revenue, increased same-store sales, and all of that.
So is your secret sauce, if we can say that, in front what the customer actually sees, or is it actually what's behind the scenes, the reporting, the data analytics?
I would say it's everything together. So it's, first of all, it's great personalized user interface, which should be personalized, and it should be with mouth-watering pictures. We kind of...
and you're helping to develop the mobile platform completely for a customer.
Yeah, obviously.
So the pictures, how the layout is, all those pieces.
Yeah. So first of all, it's user interface and personalization. That's the kind of customer-facing thing. The other thing is obviously backend for analytics and analytics to action, so kind of campaign management tool, all that together. And the third obviously POS integrations, all the possible integrations with some other systems that customer may have. And the last thing is, last but not least, is support that we provide with the customer success team.
Well, support not just on the product itself, but how to take the product to the next level with the customer.
Absolutely, yeah. Because
right. Like the digital signage guys, sometimes they will offer content management support where they're creating the next generation. They're constantly updating, and that you're doing for your customers as well.
Yeah, basically there could be like different options how we do that, but basically we literally providing this experience of working with 600 customers,
right.
like more than about 10 million users. So we know a lot about customer behavior, like which campaigns will work, which campaigns will not work.
Right.
That's the huge database of all.
But what you were telling me before is that your sweet spot, are really 60 to 100 units. So it's the small to larger medium businesses. But then when you have 600 customers, I think the message there is that you're giving that expertise that you've gained from all the customers, including some really big ones, in there, but you're able to bring that down for somebody who's, a regional, small to medium business customer.
Yeah, and I would honestly say that the expertise that we have is actually required not for just obviously for smaller guys, but for bigger guys as well, because some of the bigger chains are also experimenting with apps, and you probably hear some news, like for example, like 7-Eleven launched a project
Sure.
with a mobile app, and they're kind of canceling that and switching
right.
to another, and there are a lot of changes in the even with the bigger guys and the bigger guys in the market,
right.
and they're kind of finding this secret recipe, secret sauce that I think only few companies like Starbucks actually successfully found.
Right. So you're doing things like mobile ordering.
Yeah.
You're doing customer feedback that's in there. You're doing geofencing and customer acquisition. You're doing loyalty.
Yeah.
You're actually rewarding people for loyalty, but also bringing in other customers. Mm-hmm. Right, and so are these your points of differentiation? Did I miss something in here?
Well, I would say the points of differentiation is definitely not the set of features. Because
right.
basically, a lot of companies, even right there,
okay.
who actually also make like digital ordering, also make loyalty, also
right.
make something like that. The key differentiation, the way is that in all these kind of small details, how we do it. For example, the kind of different thing that we're doing comparing to most of the competitors in the United States market is that we providing real visual communication with customer. So most of the apps that you probably, most of the restaurant apps that you probably will
right.
see, I kind of have this kind of fixed user interface. So they expect customer to actually manually check this news and offers
right.
tab, for example. This is what
And instead, you're driving it to the customer, not asking the customer to go check it.
Yes, and this actually makes a huge difference in terms of conversion, because like it really matters when you have like 3% conversion, like 2% conversion, or like 20% of conversion, like with the case study of KFC, which is a great example
of the conversion rate. Now, you actually got in the market a little bit different from a lot of people, because as you point out, there are a lot of companies that are here at the show, and most of them, when I talk to them, they'll say, if they tell me they weren't in the business before, because sometimes people are in the business before they come out, they'll sit there and they'll go, how'd you come up with the idea? And they'll say, well, you know, I was a data analytics person, I worked for Google, I did this, I did that, right? But your story is actually different. You were a mobility engineer.
Yeah, so actually, you know, my childhood dream was to become like a professional software developer, programmer.
Right. But for mobile devices.
Yeah, for mobile devices. So I worked for Motorola mobile devices for 3 years. So you know that crazy time when Razer, like Motorola Razer, was like the huge, like the best things, like best thing in the mobile world. So I worked in Motorola in this kind of hot Motorola time, and I really kind of fell in love with this little thing that we kind of can't live without today. So, but
that's not a Motorola device.
Yeah, obviously, kind of. But again, they kind of started this. I would honestly say they kind of started to make phones actually look beautiful with the Razors. But after actually working for 3 years in Motorola, I finally realized that I need to kind of build something great. And also I had like a experience before when I participated in the Intel ISF competition. It's kind of like young scientist competition, kind of worldwide competition, and kind of won an award there. So this kind of gave me an idea, like probably I should be making something meaningful, something great, something new. So one day, while still working in Motorola, I was just walking down the street, and some guy gave me like a flyer with actually with a plastic card inside this flyer. So just kind of really expensive
expensive way to do it. So you figured you'd digitize that and just send it to their mobile device.
Basically, you know, but my first impression was like, hey, what is happening between me and these customers? Sorry, between me and these brands? Why the only way to communicate with me is just like give away this kind of flyers that I throw in a trash bin?
Right.
So I was thinking, why not use this experience in mobile to actually make this communication rewarding? I mean, rewarding for a customer, for me, so I will be engaged in that process, and I actually will love to have that information. And for businesses as well, not messing up with Excel spreadsheet or counting these flyers, but actually like having the laptop open and like choose like the vegetarians from the customer base, and not sharing them like a mouth-watering steak, but sharing something specific. So this was like initial dream, and you know, this is the mission actually not changed at all. So starting from this moment, there was like a lot of so-called kind of pivots when we changed business model a lot, because I would say we was one of the first in the market. So we were pioneering this mobile engagement thing for businesses. So we tried a lot of different business models, and finally find LoyaltyPlant.
And so you decided to pick up. You moved to New York.
You
moved to New York, and so you really believe that there's a lot of opportunity in North America.
Absolutely. You know, like everybody right now, if you ask like any chain restaurants right there, do you have mobile app plans? And they will say yes. The only question is, they basically don't know at all what it could give to their business. Because the tricky part is not just most of the business actually trying to create an app as a kind of check mark, like, hey, we need an app, like a defensive position. But the real thing is actually delivering the app that actually works, that actually means business. So this is when I think we're kind of the best in the world.
Well, very good. So listen, on that note, it's been a pleasure to meet you. We'll follow you closely to see where we are about a year from now and see how you're doing here. But clearly you bring a very strong base with you, and it'll be interesting to see how the North American market takes it. So Vas, thank you very much.
Thanks. I bet next year we have like three flowers booth at the same place, maybe even bigger.
You know what? You don't need a 3-story booth if you've already cornered the market, right? So sometimes spending the money on the huge booth, it's better to
maybe just a Ferrari with LoyaltyPlant logo on it.
A Ferrari, there you go. There used to be a guy here at the show. In this corner, before they had technology here, there was a guy who sold chicken, and his name was Al Copeland, which was Popeye's chicken. And so every year here, before all these other guys gave out chicken, in this corner right over here, he would bring either his speedboat or his helicopter. And I don't know how they got it in the building, but they'd set it up over here, and he'd have his father hand out chicken to people here, just to get the idea of Popeyes out. So you can go ahead and bring the Ferrari over here. We'll see how you're revving up people's business, okay?
We'll see.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Great.
Thanks.
Rob Grimes with the IFBTA here with LoyaltyPlant at the NRA show.